Hi everybody, this is Miss J, and today we'll be reading a story called The Duck and the Darklings by a beautiful author called Glenda Millard. It is the story of Peterboy and his grandfather who live in a place called Dark, and the other inhabitants of Dark are called Darklings. There's no hope in the land of Dark. And then Peterboy goes up to the surface because Dark is below ground. He goes up to the surface of Earth and he comes across a duck who needs his help. And the duck is the sign of hope for the future. Let's read Duck and the Darklings. In the land of Dark grew a child called Peterboy. Home was a hole built with care, lit with love, where he and Grandpapa shared everything. Dark was a sorry, spoiled place, a broken and battered place. It had been that way for so long that sun-ups and sundowns, yesterdays and tomorrows, and almost everything in them had been disremembered by each and by all, except Grandpapa. The old ones never brightened their gloomy burrows with tales of the long ago, when all was bright and beautiful. They dared not look at their ruined world. Only when the heavenlies were deepest indigo and earth was darkest violet were Peterboy and the other Darkling childs sent up and out to the finding fields. Over heaps and hummocks of lost and lonely things they clamoured, gathering fiddlesticks for firewood, filling billies with treacle, and seeking crumbs and crusts of comfort to take home. When he returned to Grandpapa, Peterboy painted word pictures of the mysteries he had seen outside. There are holes in the dark, Grandpapa, and light leaks through. It slides down the steeps, puddles in the deeps, and glimmers on the trickle. While Peterboy talked, he saw light as dazzling as a falling star in Grandpapa's eyes. When he asked what it was, the old man answered, "Memories of things past, child, thoughts of things lost and longed for." The light put longing into Peterboy's heart. When he returned to the finding fields, his spiderling fingers crept into cracks and crevices, corners and crannies. He wished for more than crumbs and crusts. He wished for a scrap of wonderfulness. Something to bring light to Grandpapa's eyes and keep it there. Instead, Peterboy found Lardaduck. He put his ear to the downy heart of her and heard hope beating there, and although he knew Grandpapa would grumble, Peterboy laid the broken duck gently in his glory bag and carried her home. "There's little enough to eat without feeding someone else's child," said Grandpapa gruffly. "Please let her stay," begged Peterboy. "She can share with me." "Only until she's cured, then," said Grandpapa. "But don't get too fond of her. Ducks are born with wanderlust in them. They live for the feel of wind in their wings." So Lardaduck stayed with cobwebs and cotton reels, tenderness and thistledown. Grandpa darned and cobbled until Duck was mended from top to tail, quack, waddle and wing. In return, she cosied his toes and squeezed small speckled surprises into his slippers. Sometimes she and Peterboy danced in the firelight while Grandpapa played Papa on his curly brass tootle. Other times, when Peterboy returned from the finding fields, he would find Grandpapa nursing Lardaduck, his eyes a-glimmer and aglow with forbidden fondness. Peterboy couldn't remember a time when Grandpapa was happier. But the earth turned, the air cooled, and wistful was the look in Lardaduck's eyes. Peterboy remembered Grandpapa's warning about wanderlust and the wind. Worried by the great emptiness that would be left by a duck so small, Peterboy said, "We must give Lardaduck something that will make her want to stay." "We've given all that is ours to give," answered Grandpapa. "It isn't enough," said Peterboy. "Tell her about the long ago, Grandpapa." "What good is there in telling tales of lost and longed-for things?" the old man asked. "When you think about the long ago, I see starlight in your eyes," said Peterboy. "Please, Grandpapa, fill our darkness with light, warm our wintry hearts with your stories." So Grandpapa turned the rusty latchkey of his magnificent remembery and set free a symphony of stories. Yellowly shone the sun when I was young and wee, he began. Peterboy listened, his mind awash with bright imaginings as Grandpapa's shining, shimmering words painted windows on the walls. He told of rainbows and rivers, fields and flowers and trees in tens of thousands. Greenly breathed the forests, he said, and sweetly ripened the fruit. Merrily winged the birdlets through the periwinkle sky, and dazily bloomed the fields where children played in peace. Grandpapa knew many tales, and when at last they were all told, he and the boy and the duck dozed. But the wind whispered Lardaduck's name, and she woke and waddled upstairs. When Peterboy woke, he too climbed the stairs and sat beside Lardaduck. Sorry drops fell from their eyes. The sky was darkest indigo, the earth was deepest violet, and the wind was soft as velvet. But there was no sun, no fingernail of moon to light the way for Lardaduck. Grandpapa woke and saw the boy and the duck. And because he knew almost all there was to know, even the longings of the duck and the kindness of the boy, he said, "Wait, Peterboy, you must give the duck such a fare thee well that it will never be disremembered, so fine and fitting that when people speak of it, the stars will shine." So Peterboy lit his candle hat and fetched his friends, the children of dark. He told them about Lardaduck, about the wanderlust and the velvet wind. "Tell your old ones about the fine and fitting fare thee well. Ask them to come with us and to wear candle hats," he said. "We must shine a great light to show Lardaduck the way." Peterboy led the Darklings, young and old, to a clearing where they shared crumbs of tenderness, crusts of love, and small speckled surprises. After they had eaten, the children of dark climbed a towering tree and sat upon its needled boughs, their candle hats ablaze with light. Far below, Grandpapa blew Papas on his curly brass tootle, and the old ones danced and sang. Courage gave Peterboy a voice. He cried out from his lofty perch, "One day I found a scrap of wonderfulness. Her wings were wounded, but in her heart there was hope, so I took her home." Lardaduck made stars shine in Grandpapa's eyes, but now she is mended and we must say goodbye. The Darklings stood still. They had danced night to its end. The candles on their hats had burnt down to wicks and wax, but all around them earth remained strangely bright and beautiful. The old ones looked in shame for the wounds man had made, but time had soothed earth's hurts. She was dressed anew in flowers and forests. The velvet wind whispered, larder ducks spread her wings, and the darklings watched with hope in their hearts as she flew out of sight.